provide data, analytics and AI services for teaching and learning at the university. The reason why we wanted to have this is to leverage students' intelligence and expertise to really support the use of generative AI in teaching and learning at NTU. So over at NTU, we have what we call the NTU AI Learning Assistants. And from what we have discovered over the past 2 to 3 semesters in which that we used Nala in the classes, is that students may not always use it in the most pedagogical sound way. And that's where the idea of a hackathon came about. So we wanted to get students to actually develop learning analytics for students, have this provided with Nala, whether it's a dashboard or something more active, so that we encourage and engage our students in better learning.
So this hackathon was broken down into 2 stages first. The first stage was a proposal. We had 1 week to do that. So initially at the start it was still manageable. And afterwards, top 10 teams were selected. And that's where stage 2 happened, where it spanned across 5 weeks.
Because the schedule is quite flexible. For example, you can not work on it for now, then choose to work on it when you're free. So that's one good thing to having a long hackathon schedule.
I think so far the experience was quite good. From understanding the problem statement, like there was a lot of workshops that happened and the profs actually helped to explain the problem quite well.
What strikes me the most is how enthusiastic they are, and they understand what the brief that we have is, that we should think it from a learning theory perspective. And you'll notice that they build things which they felt that would be useful for their own learning as well as for their fellow students. In other words, they kind of leave a legacy with the university, but at the same time, I hope that it will create community co-development kind of a system, and then we actually work together with students, they develop employable skills, but at the same time, the university benefit from their ideas.
I guess the biggest takeaway for me is seeing how NTU is always innovating, trying to be ahead of the times, since nowadays chatbots are being very commonplace.
Likewise, I also wanted to make some friends. But on top of that, I think that this hackathon is especially meaningful because we are able to make meaningful impact on the students that are currently studying and will be studying. So leaving a legacy, I think, is quite important, and I believe that our dashboard will do just that.